Okay, you're all set, Michael.
Thank you very much. Present besides myself, Michael P. Monick, members George Wall, Lynn Eckholt, Gerald Mulligan, Emily Van Giesen, Matthew Cole, and Bruce Tom. Additionally, in attendance is the building commissioner of the town of Orleans, Thomas Evers, and the board secretary, Stacy Faber. Welcome all. We have
Mr. Chairman, I have a guest with me. He just wanted to see what's going on.
He's not wearing a mask.
It's a big beard.
That we have a short agenda consisting of one case. That is case number 2144. This is the application of Ryder and Wilcox on behalf of Glenn and Susan Wilcox for a special permit set forth in General Laws, Chapter 48, Section 6, and also of the Orleans zoning bylaw, Sections 164-3C1B, 164-43, and 164-44. The applicants propose to construct an addition and deck on a pre-existing non-conforming dwelling. Dwelling and the additions are non-conforming with respect to the side yard dimensional requirements. The property is located at 12 Drive, map Orleans map number 60, class number 20. This this application was properly noticed for public hearing tonight. We have a quorum. I will designate the following 5 members to consider this. All members will be allowed to inquire. Myself and Mr. Wall, Mr. Eckholt, Mr. Mulligan, and Mr. Cole. Has any member communication with the applicant or any of the applicants which ought to be disclosed to the public, which all would otherwise constitute a conflict of interest?
I did visit the site. The owner was there, and I did talk to her as I was walking through the property. But I don't feel that that had anything to do with a conflict of interest. It was just for information.
George, was it just you and the owner?
Yes.
I conclude that that is an insubstantial communication with the applicant. And I think not be on account of that. Mr. Little, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So David Little representing Glenn and Susan Wilcox. They are proposing a modest addition on the side of their dwelling, which consists of some additional dining and living area and a small deck addition adjacent to their farmer's porch on the front of their house. The dwelling is non-conforming with respect to its side yard dimensional requirements, as you mentioned earlier, and the new addition will be slightly more non-conforming. We're intensifying the side yard non-conformity slightly, but not that much, which we are allowed to do with a special permit. If any of you had the opportunity to visit the site, the addition is occurring over an existing gravel drive. There's really no disturbance to much in the way of site area. The Wilcoxes have lived there for a long, long time. They know all their neighbors. I believe what they're proposing is well anticipated and looked forward to by their neighbors. With respect to the special permit criteria, we believe as to the adequacy of the site, the 20,100 square foot site is adequate for the additions. The resulting building coverage is only 7.5% of the total lot area. The site is suitable for the additions. The structures on the site conform to all dimensional criteria of the zoning bylaw with the exception of the side yard setbacks. There would be no additional impacts on traffic flow or safety. The additions are in keeping with the existing Cape style feature of the dwelling. We provided you with both floor plans and elevations showing what the small addition would look like. The property is served by a Title V sewage disposal system and town water. There are no and will be no drainage issues on the site. Utilities and public services are not impacted by what the Wilcoxes are proposing. Additionally, there would be no noise or litter other than the temporary noise impacts during construction. And as to the impact of groundwater quality, recharge volume, and water quality of coastal and fresh water, we believe these resources will not be impacted by the proposed activities. In fact, the applicants are maintaining a minimum of 30% of the natural area as required in the Groundwater Protection District 2 within which they are located. So we provided you with a site plan showing the slight increase in the non-conforming nature to the side yard setback and the building elevations and floor plans. And that being said, Mr. Chairman, I would open myself up to questions from the board.
It's a bump out that increases the size of the dining room.
Well, it increases the size, it improves some dining area and living area, yes.
All in all, the coverage increases by 113 square feet.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ward, do you have any questions?
No, having seen the plans and the site, I have no questions at this time at all.
Ms. Eckholt, do you have any questions? Mr. Mulligan? Mr. Cole?
No questions.
Ms. Van Giesen?
No questions.
Mr. Taub?
No, sir.
Is there anyone in the queue who wishes to speak concerning this application, either in support or against it?
We only have one person in attendees and I give him permission to speak.
Very well.
Okay, I don't think they're gonna speak.
All right, very well. I had a thought and I can't remember what it was now. It's a relatively benign proposition. Whoever the owners at 16 Shorewood appear to be the abutters might be most affected by this petition. I don't have a letter from anyone concerning this. Did you canvass the abutters, David?
I did not canvass the abutters, but Glenn and Susan have lived in this area for a very long time, Mr. Marnick, and I feel very confident in saying that what they're proposing is well accepted by everybody in the neighborhood.
Very well. there's no further evidence, I'll close the hearing for the taking of testimony and ask the sense of the board.
I'll move to approve the special permit.
Second.
Is there any discussion on the motion? There's no discussion, then we'll call for roll call vote. Mr. Marek, yes. Mr. Wall,
Yes,
Ms. Eckholt,
Yes.
Mr. Mullick,
Yes,
Mr. Cole,
Yes.
Ms. Van Giesen, and Mr. Taub will be recorded as present. Motion carries unanimously. I'll write the opinion.
Thank you very much, everyone. Have a safe December.
Very well.
same to you, David.
Thank you.
Members of the board, there's no more business to be conducted this evening.
Move to adjourn.
Very well. Do I hear a
Second.
second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Ms.
Aye.
Eckholt, was that an affirmative vote, Mr. Eckholt, or did you want to? Very well. Then thank you all. The motion carries unanimously. The meeting is adjourned until another 2 weeks, assuming that we have some more business. Thank you all.